Oh my gosh, morning, Jess.
That was easy. Good morning.
I was so nervous about pushing the right button to get you in, so it worked, it worked.
Yay. Yay, we made it. We made it. Hello.
I was just doing a quick intro to say today I want to talk about NLP coaching. Jess, this is a perfect conversation to have with you being a mindset coach. I taught you NLP and then you've taken that and completely bloomed with all of your gifts, right? Helping people
Ah,
clear their limiting beliefs, changing their lives.
hmm Incredible. It's been NLP and learning NLP with you has been incredible. I think I always say that NLP has changed my life twice. Firstly, it changed my life as the client, as your client, and just how I've been able to do so many incredible things in my life and push past the limitations and fears that I did have. And then now, having learned NLP from you, it's changed my life as a coach, which is going to be able to help change many, many, many lives to come, which is so incredible. So I'm excited to get into
No,
it and
we've known each other for a long time. And what I asked you to come on this Instagram live with me with the intention to give people an understanding of actually what happens in the background of being a coach. You know, there's so much noise on Instagram about clear limiting beliefs and make a big difference in people's lives. And I'm like, let's dive in and talk about how we do that, why we do that, what's our approach, and all the fun things, Jess.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited.
So my first question to you, Jess, is like why do you do what you do when you think about helping your clients, their mindset shifts, mastering their mindset? Why do you do what you do?
As a coach, I do what I do. Oh, big question, but it's because really I have been myself in the place of feeling limited, feeling like there was more out there for me. I've been in a place where I didn't really know what that more was. I've been in a place where I had those dreams and that vision. I just didn't really know how to get to that place.
Yeah.
I think so. It really started off with me being coached and having a coach and a mentor to help me yeah, push past the blocks that weren't serving me and weren't helping me to get to those places, to that more, whatever that looked like. So once I had started doing that and seeing and feeling and just like starting to live these dreams that I never really thought I would be able to live, or starting to gain clarity on like what I want my life to look like, I was like, this is exactly what everyone needs to experience. And I'm going to dedicate my life and learn all the tools that I need in order to help people to do that, whatever that looks like for them. So that's what I do for coaching. I know that everyone has their like way into coaching. Like, why? I'm curious. Like, why do you do what you do? Because you're obviously a coach. You teach in so many different ways. Like, is it
Yeah.
something similar?
Yeah, well, truth be told, I actually started more in the psychic realm, being on stage doing mediumship and psychic readings. And I had a lot of people coming to me for answers. You know, tell me, Claire, should I leave my partner? Or when am I going to get pregnant? Or you know, all of those questions in life. And every time I did readings, I mean, I'm sitting here in front of my tarot cards. We also can talk about that one day. But often the spirit world would come to me and say, this person, you know, with fertility or something like that, there's definitely a baby in the queue. However, the fear is getting in the way, their limitations, their childhood. There's reasons why the stress in their body goes through the roof, which is blocking us being able to give them what they want to manifest in their world. And so doing these readings over and over again, they were helpful, but it just kept coming up to that same block. And it was like, okay, I'm going to learn holistic counseling, Reiki, theatre healing. What can I do to help people heal and resolve that? And when I learned NLP, that's when, I mean, the metaphor doesn't work. I put the brakes on. I'd learned NLP and it was like, this is it. I imagine you had the same sort of experience. It was like, oh my gosh, like brakes on, but full rocket ahead. It was like, I'm going to take this all the way to being a trainer. The world has to know this. Like, yeah. And
Wow.
so,
Wow. Like, It's like my mind was constantly blown. Like we've just finished up our, I think, 4 months of
Yeah.
NLP practitioner coaching or training, sorry. And every single week I'm like, I think that was my favorite thing to learn. I think that was my favorite thing to learn because I can just see, I feel the same way. It was like mind blowing, but also like this makes sense. This is what it is. This is going to be the thing to help so many people. This is the thing that got me here. So yeah, 100%. I love NLP so much.
Would you agree then with NLP? It's not necessarily having a perfect life because a lot of the Instagram influencers, make it all about that. A lot of my training is about recognizing that the tools in the toolkit are for life, and that when you are triggered, instead of it being like this 6-month drama, you can pretty much resolve it within a couple of days, get back up on your feet, and then keep moving towards that goal. Like, is that what you notice with NLP?
100%. I mean, the thing is, there is no such thing. Well, there's no such thing as a perfect life. Like humans, it doesn't mean like the more that we heal or the more that we learn that we're not going to go through challenges, because life comes with challenges, and that's exactly how we grow, and that's how we get to our next levels, and that's how we reach, push past our potential. And it's like it's not that we're eliminating challenges; it's that we understand how to navigate them or deal with them better, faster, more in a more healing way rather than suppressing things that come along with it, so that we can move forward faster and can grow, but like genuinely move on faster, not like I said, not just suppressing them. So 100%, yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to go too much into your privacy, but talking about that, the suppression of how much this day and age pushes a little bit of that toxic positivity. You'll be fine, just push through, and it's within even those affirmations of like hoping something will change. Like even that word hoping is actually quite limiting. Hoping something will change versus having the tools to make the change, right? Like I love how, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but I love how you talked about not suppressing the issues and then being able to have the tools to make a change.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Hoping. I love that. Hoping is almost limiting in itself. Absolutely. I feel like there's a difference between the hoping and then the doing something about it. It's kind of like, oh, maybe this is going a bit too far out, but like a manifestation, right? Like something that you're wanting to manifest into your life. It's like we can sit here and we can know what we want, but we can't just like sit back and not do something about it, and just expect it to come to us. We have a part to play in it. So yeah, you're right. Like when you're going through a challenge, hoping isn't going, it's beautiful, it's something that I feel like we all need to have, but then there's actually those tools and those things that we can do in order to get to the places that we want to get to, help ourselves getting there. I feel like I've definitely been I've definitely been through a lot of challenges where I have suppressed a lot, and I did just hope and hope and hope that it was gonna all work out for me and things were gonna happen. And I realized that that's actually not really getting me far. It's like helping me. It's like beautiful to have that hope, but it's not actually getting me that far. So it's actually really funny because even talking to you the other day, the challenge that I'm going through like a really big challenge right now, and something that's really similar to what I've already gone through. But if I was to compare, it's funny because I'm able to use the NLP tools to help me sort of like move through it and get on top, whether it be like a time to move through emotions and then get on top so I can see like a clear vision. Okay, now how am I going to help myself? But there's definitely been parts of my life where I have suppressed it and it's just gone down and down and down, bottled up and up and up, and then something bigger manifests out of it, that I don't want. So it's really interesting. I haven't really heard of it in that way, but like that hoping versus
Well,
the
let's talk about like how the changes happen, because I know I'm just my wicked sense of humor. When you're in those moments, Jess, with you or other clients, and they're hoping for change, like if I could just like wake up, like we
Yeah.
We can put strategies in place for those changes to occur, but you have to be willing and ready. And often that's not comfortable, but it's the necessary step to make that radical change. When I teach NLP, what we often talk about is getting in touch with how that limitation is showing up in the body. And let's just say, think about a recent client and she's got money problems coming out of her ears. And it's like there's that heavy pressure in the chest, there's the stress, the anxiety, hoping something will change, hoping to, manifest in money. But we had to go in and talk to, I know it sounds silly, like go in and talk to it, but go in and talk to that pain, that pressure. Where did that come from? What meaning are you putting to the lack of money? What is it doing to, what is it doing? Sorry, start again. How is it serving you to actually have money problems? What is it that, if you did have lots of money, would actually invite into your world? And it's really quite strange, Jess, that a lot of people are blocking themselves from receiving money because they have this unconscious idea about it'll invite in more problems, more pressure, have to work harder, have to all of the things.
100%.
And it's about going in and, not just hoping things will change, but actually facing what's stopping it from coming in, which is, it sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds like it's a backwards way of approaching money problems, but it's incredible when you shift it, how much things change.
It's funny because it sounds ridiculous maybe to other people, but to me, I'm like, actually, you know what? I've done this a lot of times where I do that backwards approach, and this is through the NLP, and through with you and people that have like helped me with NLP. That it actually doesn't sound ridiculous to me at all. It's like it actually makes so much sense. But I know I get it that in the beginning, it does sound like, wait, what? So I feel like, with the NLP, understanding that it's actually going back to that root cause of that very, very first moment that you say, we've made that conclusion, or what it means about ourselves, or what it means for whatever our future. Back whenever that first sort of incident, or not incident, but that first sort of situation happened in our life, and most of the time it happens in, early childhood or even past lives, where it has such a grip on us, but we're so unconscious to that we don't realize how much of a grip that one situation has on us, that's actually coming in to play a huge role in the decisions that we make, and the the limitations that we might have, or how we can move forward or not move forward with it. So yes, it sounds backwards to go all the way back, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily like to go back and play in like the past, because it's just like bringing things back up. But actually, when you can do it in such a safe space, and with NLP and having the questions, it's all about like the questions to ask, and helping you to feel really safe so that it can come up for you. Wait, let me It's not about telling you what the problem is. It's about you finding it out for yourself. Because what's it going to do when someone's sitting here saying, "Oh, this is what it is," and they're like, "Well, what do you know?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?"
I think both of us have had money problems in the past. I know with your childhood and your mum working two jobs, and all of those messaging that you were given when you were little about how hard you have to work for money and you have to save and scrimp and all of those things. It's a program that got laid in at such a young age. I had similar, and even went homeless and all sorts of different things, because this is how we survive, was based on what our parents taught us, our grandparents. And in the NLP coaching sessions, even in the training room, when we looked at why we have these limiting beliefs, where they came from. Do you remember, Jess, our Facebook group started popping up, people were manifesting an $800 and this much money and this, just from one process. In the training room, it was like that old story, we closed the chapter, put it on its shelf, and then let's get a new exciting book, which is, so exciting.
It's powerful stuff. Like it really, really is. And like just being able to take a look at that, and then changing your perspective, being able to change your perspective on that first sort of situation, being able to change that. So now, and I know that this is like the science behind it, changing, um, giving yourself different opportunities and different pathways to move forward. And it's like changing those neurological pathways, right? Because when we have such a tight grip on it with the old way that doesn't serve us based on the meaning that we've put on it, that's not really getting us like anywhere that we want to go in life. So being able to go back and change our perspective on that, change the meaning on that, understanding how that served us, how we learned it, and that served us for such a long time, but now it's just not going to be able to serve us going to like moving forward to the places that we want to go to. And I just think it's such powerful stuff to be able to do that whole, you know, the way of going back and then being able to shift how your reality is going to be, like so deep to the core.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you were talking there about the shift in the neural pathways, that's exactly what NLP does. When we look at somebody who's in a really depressing and suppressing environment, they're looking at the situation, feeling really hopeless, hoping things will change. All of that messaging that's going in is creating those neural pathways that say, okay, life's hard, life's hard, life's hard. And then with NLP, taking people through processes to access their unconscious mind, we can shift those neural pathways to be in like your fast Tesla, smooth ride, seeing things from a different point of view, opening new doors, you know, a little bit like that horse taking off the blinders. It's like, wow, so many different ways of viewing things, which is what I see you do, Jess, when you are working with your clients and looking at their mindset. Like, it's fun, right?
Yeah. So much fun. I love it so much. I love, and especially having this NLP in my belt now, being able to see it, those limiting beliefs dissolve so much faster, so much easier, and just being able to like really move forward. It's so much fun having this. But even just thinking as well, back to like some people might already know this, like one of the biggest fears that I had that was really limiting me from moving forward, we did like a timeline process, which is one of the ones in NLP. And look, I had been trying for like over 15 years to try and like dissolve this fear so I could move on. I'd been trying and trying and trying. And then you came along and we did this process together. And I was like, what? Are you joking? Like 15 years of trying to like figure this out. And then in that one session, but genuinely. And so I just think that this is so powerful. And this is like the things that I see also with my clients. And, you know, you've got so many clients that you've had this with as well. You know, the people like our group, like they're doing this with their clients as well. And the stories that they have to share as well. It's like, it's so real and it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I love to work with the empaths, the gentle souls, the introverts. A lot of the NLP trainings can be made for the humans, as I respectfully say, the loud extroverts. And I like to work with the empaths and create those safe groups, as you said. That's why that group is such a treasure that we've just had, where everybody wants to support and nurture each other, encourage. I was like, we just need more of this in the world. Like, it's such a dream come true for me. My style of NLP is very different to traditional type of NLP because I bring a lot of that spiritual concepts in, which I'm curious from your point of view, Jess, like what did that do for you when we're not just looking at the mind, but we're also tapping into the soul's energy? Because there was a lot of healers in that group, a lot of kinesiologists, Reiki masters, teachers, yoga practice. There's a lot of healing in that space. What did the spiritual aspect do for you in that
You know
training?
what, it really served me so well because I am that empath. And I do have that spiritual side to me as much as I'm not like a kinesiologist or a healer in that sort of sense. It really actually helped me with my own things as well, being able to be in such a group because we know like when you're in a group, setting that are like-minded, and they want to do that support. They want you to rise, you want them to rise. I feel like it was healing in so many different ways. And it just makes it so, it makes it feel so much safer. It doesn't feel pushed. It feels really fun. Like, we had so many laughs. We laughed all the time. There was a lot of like great chats going around in amongst all of the teaching and everything. So, you know, if you were to traditional, or if you were to think of like a course at uni or something, I don't know, it just,
It's
you
not
hear
that.
it feels pressuring, like it feels like, like I have to get this done, and then you're putting a lot of stress on yourself. This course it's not like that. You have a group of people that are having fun, that want to learn this, that want to really help other people, that have that healing energy as well. So I think about the traditional way that you speak of NLP and doing it in such a short time and having those crammed days, and I just don't know how that would work. It wouldn't work for someone like me, I don't think, because I do have that spiritual side, I do have that empath side where, you know, you really want to do this with people like healers, because that is the reason that you want, that is the type of people that you want to help. So I
Yeah.
really feel like for someone that might not be able to find that place, that wants to do NLP but they are an empath, they do have that spiritual side to them, and they want to do it sort of this way and have so much fun. Like, this is the space for them. I know that it sometimes can be hard to find spaces specifically for people to do things that they want that fit. And I just feel like this is like the perfect fit and the perfect find, especially for someone like me to join your NLP group.
Thank you, Fierce. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, that means a lot to me, because it was really important to create that safe space, that community, and then help people step into their authority and their confidence, because they've got a golden diploma of life experience. And it's like, let's just add to the toolkit, uh, help you work out your messaging with the clients that you want to work with. And yeah, this is going to be my last NLP accredited training through the NLPAA. The reason that I am making a pivot and a shift is because I want to have the platform to bring in more of the spiritual side of things, and to teach more of how to facilitate past lives and multidimensional journeys, and working with the tarot and enhancing your intuition. So I want to be able to bring in all of the best. This is all next year, by the way, but bring in the best of NLP, the best of NLP masters, the best of past lives, and put that's what my purpose feels like, is to bring that to the world, to this whole be your purpose modality. So it's what's coming, and the feedback that I'm getting from people who've gone through the NLP journey is they get to the end and go, what's next? And I'm like, I just need to. It's coming. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. So,
And
yeah, fun growth for both of
I
us.
actually saw I saw you put on the other day, or maybe it was yesterday, that you actually only have 3 spaces left for
Yeah,
your like last NLPA accredited NLP. I've been talking
I
to people.
know.
I know so many people that are super interested in doing this sort of thing, you know, doing this NLP in the spiritual way, and they are the empaths themselves. So like, I mean, from me, I've done this with Claire. I think that, like, if there's 3 spaces left, you want to jump on this, because it is, like you say, it's like your golden ticket to look. It's for your clients as well, 100%. But you gain so much of it for yourself. You have that for yourself. We talked about in the beginning how life comes with challenges. There's no doubt about that, and it's like, how do we want to be able to deal with them? When you have NLP in your tool belt, trust me, you'll be able to deal with challenges. You'll be able to move through challenges in such a more healing way, and get back on top to just continue that growth. So yeah, jump on it.
Oh, thank you, Jazz.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious from you, are you offering sessions at the minute as well? Like, you embracing what you've got in your toolkit, or you're just integrating at the moment? What's on offer for your clients?
You know what? So the structure that I have been doing most recently is, I help people with goals. I'm helping people with like achieving their dreams. Maybe, maybe they're at a fork in the road and they're wanting to figure out which way to go, or they're wanting guidance through that.
Yeah.
And I have been thinking more now that I'm going to be offering like breakthrough sessions,
Yeah.
where we can start to understand, like, or we can start to get down to those root causes of like, where do you want to be? Why potentially you might not be getting to where you want to be like right now, or what sort of you need to do in order to get from A to B. So I'm actually offering now breakthrough sessions for those people that want to do, just for the time being, and then seeing how like we can work together in the future to just like completely expand your life altogether. So yeah, I'm offering those breakthrough sessions at the moment.
Oh
No
yeah.
one knows. This is the first time I'm saying it. I'm going to get it out this week.
Yeah, because that's where the mindset to be able to create that vision is so important. There are coaches who work with people who are stuck in anxiety, coaches who work with people on the ADHD spectrum, people who do. When you find your niche, when you know what your expertise is, that's when the clients reap the benefit, because you've got all of that mastery in, let's not skip, but let's shift timelines so that instead of it taking you 3, 4, 5 years to be able to shift those limitations, like I know exactly how to get you to move from A to B or A to Z without doing the whole alphabet. And so hearing you saying, yes, there's breakthrough sessions coming up, or like, oh, so powerful.
Yeah. When you said, the journey from A to Z, I know this is going into another thing that we talk about, but like, it just feels like that journey of like the tarot, going from the full all the way through the journey and being so complete. I know. I was just like, as soon as you said that, I'm like, why does that remind me of that? But I didn't see it. But like, just to add in here, I just feel like one of the things as a coach that, might be a little bit different that I do now that I have the NLP, and the part that I love the most about it is that it's not about telling, or it's about helping someone get to that conclusion to themselves, or like understanding what is the root cause themselves. It's not about saying, actually, because a lot of people will come to me and they'll say, this is my problem, but they don't actually see that this is the problem, this is just the symptom.
Oh, yes.
But it's not my place to say, actually, no, you're wrong, this isn't the problem, this is the problem, because they, like I said before, they're going to be like, well, no, this isn't the problem, now you don't understand me, rapport gone. But it's like, actually, about my favorite part about the NLP is the questions that we ask in order to help the client. And this is a phrase that I heard you say that I'm going to forever use. Loosen their grip on loosen their view on that thing. So sometimes we can be 100%, this is the truth, this is it, this is the problem. But it's like, when we can start to ask questions and just explore different like ways around it, we can start to loosen our view on it and be like, oh, that takes off pressure, that feels lighter. Now that I'm in this place, this curious place, I can now start to look for a pathway forward, rather than being so shut off because this is my view. It's like, actually, there's a million truths to one thing. And it's like, now that we've loosened that a little bit, let's actually start to explore ways forward. That was my favorite part, I think, of the NLP, because I think that is the game-changing point of it, because you can't, I think, I don't know if we were talking about this earlier or if we were talking about this in the beginning, but you were saying how, were you saying this? When you're stuck on that thing, you need to be open to changing. You need to be open to changing. And some people do come in and they're open to changing, but it's actually like, okay, let's actually open that up to be a lot open to changing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're talking about when people get stuck, they're stuck because their limiting thinking is just going in a loop. So it's really important that we loosen the model of the world so that they can see things in a different perspective. So I don't know why it's prevalent today, but coming back to people's money troubles, and they get fixated and stuck on the debt and the debt and the debt, and their energy restricts, and then they start to feel sick, and now the bills for anyway. But then when you go in and explore, how did you get into this predicament? What are you saying to yourself about this predicament? You can start to open up new possibilities, new ways of looking at things. And I've been in that position where I was like, I'm just doing one-on-one coaching. I'm just doing one-on-one coaching. No one's going to change this. This is what works for me. Until I was complaining. I was one of those clients to my coach and saying, what am I going to do? I'm booked up for 9 months in advance. And they were like, it's time for you to teach what you know, Claire. And I'm like, oh, had not occurred to me. It was just, here, Jess, go and do it your style.
100%. I love that. And you were able to come to this new sort of potential, or this new opportunity maybe, through having the conversations with your coach. Like you say, like having that conversation with your coach just opened you up to something that you're like, whoa, I never thought about it, or I never thought about it that way. And you're like, now that's what you're doing. You're teaching people you're teaching a lot of people doing NLP, which is going to help people do that one-on-one coaching that you were doing. And it just spreads out even more, more people can be impacted in a great way by this. So, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about right at the beginning. Like, we have our own challenges. Moving me from one-on-one to group work, it was like, okay, let me do tarot, let me do past lives, until I got to NLP. And now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next evolution, shifting the next lot of beliefs on. So we both are in the same boat when it comes to what's next, what's the vision. And that's part of the soul's journey, is to, if you're not growing, then there's you need to look at that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so for me, I speak my truth when I'm encouraging clients to get out there, have multiple franchises, or, $20,000 coaching packages, or whatever it is that they want. It's like, your intuition is pulling you towards that. Let's make it happen, because it's really like these moments talking to you, Jess. This is so exciting.
I know.
Instagram Live. It's just so exciting to talk to you about this at this point. Yeah.
100%. I love it. Big things are happening. I think big things are happening for everyone. And like, when you can just jump on that, and when you can just like open yourself up to this growth, big things are happening. And like, I'm currently in that as well. Like you say, we're in the same boat. Everyone has their different ways. When you open yourself up, that big things are going to happen. So.
Oh, yay! Well, then let's leave our chat at that point. We'll leave it on a high. But until we talk again, Jess, because we've got lots of things to talk about, right? We always have.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we've done, on my podcast, we've done like a 6-part spiritual series. We've done, I think, multiple live IGs at this point. We've done lots of things, and there's always going to be more to talk about.
Yay. Oh, well, thank you to everybody who's been listening. Thank you for your time, Jess, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a 5-star rate and review, because this helps this podcast get up in the algorithm so we can share the messages far and wide. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week.